we are going to solve this quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. Now you could start off by trying to factor this equation so that you could solve it that way, but if you do that, you see that your product of a times c is going to be -3 and your sum is going to be +4. There are no two numbers that are going to satisfy a product of -3 and a sum of +4. So when that happens, we automatically revert to the quadratic formula to find the zeros of the quadratic equation. So we're going to start off by writing out what the quadratic formula is. X equals -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now these letters A, B, and C come from the standard form of the equation of a parabola, which is this. Just make sure when you're doing this that you keep negatives with your numbers. So in this case, from the equation that we started off with, our A value here is going to be 1, our B value is going to be 4, and our C value is going to be -3. So now we go ahead and sub in those values and then calculate what we end up with. So here, -4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times -3 over 2 times 1. So now we're going to simplify. -4 plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 12 over 2. -4 plus or minus, this is going to be the square root of 28 over 2. Now we see that we have a radical that can be reduced. If we want to find the exact values for the roots of this quadratic, then we're going to keep that radical in, but we're just going to reduce it using our steps for simplifying radicals. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. -4 plus or minus, I can break up the root 28 into root 4 times root 7 and then over 2. Now the root 4 can become a 2, so I have -4 plus or minus 2 root 7 over 2. Here, this divided by 2 is going to reduce the -4. When I divide -4 divided by 2, I get -2, and I can also reduce the coefficient of the radical. 2 divided by 2 is going to give me 1. So I get -2 plus or minus root 7, and those are the two roots for the quadratic. So this gives us two exact roots of x equals -2 plus root 7 and x equals -2 minus root 7. If you wanted to get approximate values for the roots, then you would plug this into your calculator and get the rounded decimal, and that would give you the approximate values. But these are the exact roots of this equation.